Yo, what up, boys? Welcome to the stream. It's your boy FPL Josh. Welcome to another live stream. We have got some Haaland news today, boys. Big -4 news today. -4 news today. Big Haaland news today. Jesus, I'm making myself think I'm doing the flipping -4 today. Big Haaland news today. Big news, which was great. And these scums who transferred him out are going to be crapping themselves right now. I feel sorry for anyone Okay, so I feel sorry for anyone who's just that dumb to have transferred Haaland out. I think it's downright stupid, if you ask me. And I feel like those 150 odd K now who transferred him out are just going to be absolutely walloping themselves in the arse. Really are. And I'm just going to laugh a little bit about it. In fairness, guys. It's mentality right here. I am still looking at Twitter news on the phone quickly. We're seeing what kind of Twitter news is coming up. See where we're going to go. But yeah, we're kind of going with it. Mad right now. Absolute mentality over here. I just can't believe it. Let's just quickly. I don't get the Jesus transfer out, by the way, boys. We're going to talk on that in a minute. I don't understand that transfer because Forest, Chelsea upcoming, and then I think Southampton game week 16. I know he's on one yellow card for ban, but I just don't get the transfer with the upcoming fixture. I just don't see why you'd want to transfer him out for that fixture. Logically, you'd wait till next week maybe if you're going to do that. Gross, yeah, that was a change. See more and more every week because people just can't hold him. People are just praying casual still owning him. Salah, I've already gone on this. It's ridiculous. Almiron's gone 6, 7, 8k. So I bet you Almiron's gone up in price in my team. I guarantee you that. I bet you Almiron's gone up easily. No, he's still 5.4. Damn. Foden's gone up though. I think, yeah, 8.5. I think Foden's gone up. Mitrovic will probably go up by the end of today. 6.9 has gone up. Tony's got a price rising coming. Trippier will have a price rising coming. Yeah. Saliba's probably going to have a price rise incoming as well. I just feel Gomez still edges a little bit of maybe a better pick for me, for Salah. It honestly depends where you're trying to go with it, boys. It honestly depends where you're trying to go with the Salah option. Let's have a look. Have a look at the Salah option. What's Salah looking at? 255,000 out. That's mad. I haven't got. Let me turn the camera off a sec, boys, while I quickly adjust something. Just gonna adjust that and we're sound. Right, we're sound. Apologies for that, boys. I was just trying to check something on Twitter quickly. Mad. That's mental. That's mental, actually. How is it actually gotten to that? Damn. There's actually pros recommending for you to bloody bench Haaland. What a load of dumbasses, bro. I swear. Wow. Wow. That's mad. That's actually mad. Mental that. I still can't believe how many have transferred. It's that to get around right now, boys. We're going with the flow, and we're just waiting on everyone to get in. To be fair, it is 5:07. We're waiting on Fabio. So currently, honestly, looking at the stats, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Mental, actually, how many injuries there's been going. I'm still trying to get my head around this news. That bad. Mm. Oh, mate, people have cocked up. I've just looked how many people captain Salah next week. That's mad. That's actually mad trying to go with that. That's actually really mad. Actually, mentality that. We'll get the team up, by the way, boys, but it was going over the transfer news, but honestly, I don't think there is much more to talk about the transfer news right now. It's honestly just Almiron's gone through the roof on transfers, no shocker. Kane's gone up because people have got the Haaland into Kane, which I've already advised against that. And then the list goes on. Foden has got a big implement this week, as well as Tony and Saka. Saka's gone up. Foden's gone up. Rashford's probably due a rise. Castagne will go up. Shaw will go up. Jesus had 190k like out, but I just feel that he'll go up. I think people are taking it too seriously on that matter. But hey, who am I to judge? You know, who am I to judge 155,000 people transferring Haaland out after I did to Salah like game week 14 last year? So who am I to judge on that hand? But I feel like it's a daft move if you ask me. I feel people are stressing too much over the Haaland situation. It's a simple knock. He's going to be fine. I reckon he starts. I feel it's just a simple situation to be in. And I feel like going against him on captain and transferring him out, he'll be fine again next week, fully fed. And he'll be fine for this game, I reckon. People just think the worst when they see a knock on a player. And I just don't really take as much notice of knocks in FPL because they don't really tend to affect the player that much, and they're usually playing the game after anyway. So I try to not take that into an account as much when I'm judging something on FPL. I try to be savvy about it. But hey, you know, that's my opinion of it. I still think Tony's worth bringing in, by the way, this week and next week. Definitely something I recommend. The whole hype about people bringing Mitrovic in for this week seems a bit of a Solanke's out, let's bring Mitrovic in kind of solution. And I feel it's a bad situation because everyone's going to want to transfer him out next week for City and the week after. And I'm still going my situation of Calvert-Lewin. Unless Mitrovic bags a hat-trick and seems really promising, he's most likely going to get transferred out for Calvert-Lewin. I mean, I could keep him, but depends. I am drifting towards Calvert-Lewin for that game week 15 fixture and game week 16. It's a 2-week hold, so it's not like it's going to really harm me too much. I just don't know how Mitrovic really would score against City, to be fair honest. The problem is, if I was to get rid of him, he probably would return. So I'm kind of trying to be savvy about it, but at the same time, I just feel like Calvert-Lewin against Leicester and Bournemouth is a very good pick. So it's a dilemma. Or I could keep Mitrovic for game week 15 as well as Tony, and just bring Calvert-Lewin in for Tony game week 16 as a 1 week pump. It's a massive decision to make right now. It's all going to depend on how Calvert-Lewin plays compared to Mitrovic this weekend. I've still got the Twitter feed up on her. I'm still trying to look at the Twitter feed, see if we've got any more news on Haaland but the present and the press conference news we had earlier. But Pep did give an indication that he'd be playing. So that's very good. So yeah, it's quite a nice situation to be in. You know what I'm saying? So that's quite a good turnout, I suppose. Better than else. We're just waiting, honestly. I'm doing the waiting game now. On news. On everything else. Tony's a better choice than Mitrovic. Yeah. I was just on about that now. I feel like Mitrovic being brought in so heavy this week. I was really, to be honest, expecting him not to go up in price and expecting him to go down in price this week. And more people to actually drop him than buy him, but I suppose there's less people looking forward, and people are reading the graphs that they put out. These stupid graphs that the app decides to recommend players like Solanke and bloody Christie and stuff, and I always stay away from them. Yeah, I still think Haaland starts, and I still think he's going to score 1 or 2 goals minimum. I think minimum he's going to score like a goal and assist. I feel like maybe our vice captain Foden. Wildcard question. No, this ain't my wildcard. I used my wildcard. Jesus, when did I use my wildcard? Game week. I used it very early on this year. Last year, by this point, I was on like 750 plus points. I think I was on about 755. This year, I'm only on 699, so it's not been as good of a year. And I still had my free hit by this point last year, but I had to free hit due to certain situations where I didn't want to take minus 12. I've took hits, about 20 in total, get players in and out that have all paid off this year, but I think it's like 2024 I've took, which everyone's paid off. I haven't took a hit this week though, or last week. Hit the week before though. But I have used my wildcard now. I used it very early on. I think I used it about game week 4, game week 5, something like that. But I haven't really had any problems really with my team. It's still performed quite good considering I've had Salah the whole start. So yeah, it's been okay. And I bought the silver out for Amram this week. I've got 1.1 spare, so we're just going off that. If I had Kane and Foden, who would you advise captain? On paper, I'd advise captain Kane because he's got Bournemouth, but I do like Foden. So, with a non-biased opinion off statistics and off returns, yeah, I think I'd go maybe Kane. In my situation, it's obviously between Salah and Foden, so it's a similar situation. I feel like with the Kane situation, it's an odd one because he is performing really consistent like previous seasons where he has, but it's the first time he's been this consistent for like 4 years. So it's a dilemma between is he going to keep the form up every week, or is he going to blank against Bournemouth, depending on what situation. I mean, if you get a penalty, you kind of nailed with that. I just feel he shouldn't have scored against Newcastle in my opinion. But that's a bit of a honest opinion in my terms. But yeah, to be honest, I'd probably vice captain Kane if I was you. If that was me in that situation, I'd probably vice captain Foden because I'm a bit biased like that, even though I'm a Man United fan, but I do like Foden. But honestly, yeah, I'd captain Kane. On paper, his game is better, and he's had a bit better form than Foden, so on paper, I'd captain Kane as your vice. Sorry, not captain and vice. For me, it's going to be Salah this week, or Foden on a debate. Wait, have you got a wild card, or are you just asking me in general if I had a wild card, what players would I want to bring in for the next 3 weeks? That's depends. If you're talking about me giving you a wild card draft now for who you'd actually be prioritising for a wild card if you still got it, or who I'd just bring in for a wild card, it depends what you're asking me on that terms. I definitely would look at bringing an armour on. That's someone I really do like right now. Miguel looks really, really good this season. His form looks impeccable, but knowing my luck, the 1 week I bought him in on a free transfer, I bloody blank, and Andreas will outscore him again. you activated the wild card this week. Sound. We can do we can have a look at the wild card. We can have a look at players then. Let me. Right. No, I'm gonna get the chat up on my phone quickly because I've got the other monitor on Discord, and I'll read your chat while I'm getting the team up, and we'll have a look what we can do. Let's have a look what we can do. Transfers. Right. In fact, do you know your FPL team ID? You can give me your ID, then I can just give you some recommendations of who to bring in. If you know your ID, I can have a look at your I think I said no. You've hit the wild card, ain't you? So it won't be the same. Don't matter. All right, go on here. Give me the lineup you've got right now in the chat, and I'll try and improve it on here. We'll have a look at the players who are currently priced, because I know a lot of them are going up this week. Foden's a must for me. Foden's definitely a must, and I feel like he'll start this week. I feel like he was just rested last week due to there being a Champions League game midweek, and he was rested in the Champions League game. He played 45 minutes, so him playing 28 minutes and 45 indicates that he's going to start this week for me. So I feel like he's definitely nailed this week, because he's had like pretty much 2 games worth of rest with the time he's played. And I just feel like he can't play Mahrez after how impeccable he was last week. So, and with the last game, I feel it's a must-have Foden. I feel like Saka as well. Saka's a good option, but it's just I'm not playing Salah this week. I don't think. I think I'm playing Gomez because I just feel like there is Forest fans like my brother and stuff who support Forest, so obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased that time. But I just feel like Arsenal the last couple of games haven't looked as good as they have been in the previous games, and I feel like their form may start to slow down. So I'm trying to be a bit cautious about Arsenal players. But I don't mind Saka. I don't mind Saka for this week and next week. Well, game week 16, not game week 15 weeks, Chelsea. So maybe I wouldn't be surprised if Saka got an assist or something this week, but I just don't feel like he's the best option for the next 3 weeks in general. 757926 sound. Yeah, I'll search it and see if it actually shows your wildcard, but I don't think it will. But we'll have a look. Say that, no, it should show your team. You've currently got him. Censor him. What's your ID? 757926. Bear with me, I'm only on the 1 minute today. Instead of the second, because it's on Discord. Just bear with me. Is that the that's not going to show your team, is it now? No, it's not going to let me do that. Hold on. Let me just... Right, let me close the window a sec so I can log into my FPL team quickly. And then we'll do a draft. Let me just log in, but I can't obviously let you guys see on my logins and stuff, so... Sound. Okay. Right. Now I'm logged in, you can see. Right, let's make a draft for you. So, how much have you exactly got in the bank? Because obviously this will only give me 100 mil. I'm a United fan, so I could be a biased United fan, but I'm not really keen on Rashford this season. And there's a lot of others the same as me in general who are saying avoid. It's not just me. I feel like Anthony is the better pick, but I just feel like Andreas, it depends whether you're looking at a starting option or a bench option. Obviously, Rashford would be the better starting option. But I just feel like Andreas is better bench, and you can play him this week against Everton. So I feel like he's a good pick. Anyway, you tell me how much money you've got exactly, and I'll make a quick team up. I know you said you had Kane in. So I'm going to assume you've got Kane and Haaland. You haven't just got Kane. And I'm going to assume you haven't got Salah. So we'll do it off that. So let's just get Solanke out for Kane. And who do you have in instead of Salah? You got Foden in. How much of that plus minus 5.3? So I'm going to assume you've got Foden instead of Salah. We'll just put Foden in. We can always change this around. It's not going to matter for now. It's just going to show whoever you had last week. I'm going to assume you've took Trossard out as well. Ignore the captaincy on this as well. Just ignore the captaincy. So, this was your team last week. That's your money. Right, let's see what we can do. I'm going to assume you've probably gone Firmino to Tony. That's probably the move I'd be making. Mind you, I do like Calvert-Lewin though, but I'd get Calvert-Lewin in for Tony game week 16, so let's bring Tony in. If you want me to give you my general opinions on who I think you should buy, then I'll try and go over to here. It should be on Cancelo. Now, as much as I'm a United fan, De Gea for me is not the goalie I'd be picking. I'd rather have two 4.5 mil goalkeepers, or maybe a Nick Pope and a 4.5 mil or something. I don't think having De Gea, even as a United fan, is a good shout. What goal is it right now? Let's go to not Brighton. Who's Brentford got this week? They have got Villa, but we've got West Ham. We've got West Ham. I really wouldn't be surprised if we conceded to West Ham. But I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even De Gea maybe kept the clean sheet. But the only reason I like Raya is not even because I wouldn't even think about more clean sheets on goalies because he will get clean sheets. But when I can't view him here. I'll view him in my tab. Let me view him in my tab. When you view him now, take a look at the save points. You know, he's had 3 saves, 4 saves, 6 saves, 6 saves, 3 saves, 4, 4, 0 that game because obviously he didn't play that game really much. Like, there weren't really any shots. And then he has 2 saves. In the last 3 games, he's had 7 saves, 5 saves, and 7 saves. So let's say, obviously, he didn't concede those 4 goals last week. Let's say he only conceded 1 and they lost. He still would have had a 4-point week. So considering he's saving, like, average of 5 saves a match, so you're guaranteed 4 points a game with him, pretty much, without the clean sheet. If he gets the clean sheet, that's 10 points they're going to get. And I just feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Brentford kept the clean sheet against Wolves. And I feel like De Gea's shaky and doesn't get save points. You're kind of relying on clean sheets. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we was to start dropping in form. And West Ham's not an easy game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we was to concede either. And I feel there's less chance of Wolves scoring against Brentford. I wouldn't be put off by Raya just because of that Villa game. It's just one of those things. Villa's had a new manager and they've come out guns and blazing. It happens with near enough every team. So for me, I'd probably be going Raya in goal. He's great long term as well. Because who's Danny Ward got game week 16? Because what you'd do is you'd put a goalkeeper on the bench, let's say Ward, for game week 16 or someone. Because he won't be good game week 16 against City, but with Wolves and Forest in the next 2, I really do like him as a pick. That's personally who I'd be going for. Obviously Chilwell's got to go. Let's get Chilwell out. Why is it on the low list? Price. No, players, defenders. Sort by form. And young. Yeah, we're searching by form. It's going to be bad ownership. Alaba, Diaz, Zinchenko, obviously is out. Yeah, Chelsea's got a tough game. I'm trying to think who you could put there. Obviously, bench Nico Williams is still good. Trossard, obviously, I need to move Trossard. Actually, thinking about it, I haven't moved Trossard yet. Still do like Martinelli, but I do think Saka's better. Go to bench. I like Armour on. I think about putting Armour on here. and bring in Aaron on for the lot. So that's your lineup with 1.2 mil. Obviously, I'm going to change Chilwell. So that would be the lineup with 1.2 mil. Obviously, I've got to change Chilwell up. So you've got Martin, Elisa, Haaland, Kane, Tony, Foden. But you have 100.3 mil. This will only give me 100 mil. Yeah, I know we've got West Ham. That's what I'm saying. And like, this is coming from a United fan, so I'm going to know best what. I just feel like we'll concede. I think we'll win. But I just feel like we're probably going to concede. And West Ham don't look bad. And at the same time, we're cocking up like half the shots. We're taking like 20 odd shots a game and putting away maybe one of them half the time. And sometimes we just go and miss loads of shots. And we got a lucky goal against Chelsea last minute. I think it was just undeservable for us to even draw that game. And that's coming from a United fan, that. But I don't mind the lot on the bench. I just don't want to play him this week. But after this week, I do really like the fixtures. I feel we've got great fixtures after this week. So that's a good one for me. Sup, Slay? We're just sorting out a wildcard team for Melita. Anyway, Melita, how many points are you on anyway? You must be doing okay since you've saved your wildcard all the way up to this bloody week. You must be doing alright then. I'm still trying to decide on who else you can bring in. 1.2 spare. Let me just go on the phone quickly and look at the transfer placements. Yeah, I told you to play Delot. Play. Because that's the best. That's better than the defenders you've got. What I'm saying is, he's on a wild card. You're not. So he can put any defenders in. So he can go and pick the best players. But just for you, it's better to just play Delot and not take a hit. Is what I was trying to say to you yesterday. Because he's better than playing bloody. What's his name? Who did you even have there? Scratch what I said yesterday. No, you call me a dickhead. You're probably better playing Gomez. I totally forgot you had Gomez on your bench. I was thinking you had Nico Williams or something. Ignore me. Play Gomez. No, ignore what I said yesterday. I must have been deluded out of my mind to tell you to play Delort over Gomez. I'm glad I checked that. He's still good though from next week. I'll be playing him next week and the week after. Yeah, no, he does offer assist potential though. I think that's probably why I've told you to play him. But I feel it's hard because I feel like we'll probably got a good decent chance of conceding. I feel like Southampton will probably score. Yeah, I know Bowen's out, Millet, but it's just I just don't like De Gea in general. For me, I just feel he's not good. And I feel if you can have some, like Raya is making consistent saves. Yeah, that was yesterday, Slay. I've looked at recent news. I was going to play Saliba in my team, but looking at the recent news and the predicted lineups, Gomez is predicted to start, so I've put him in my main team now. I did tell you I am checking news. I told you yesterday I was unsure about Haaland, and today I'm quite sure he's nailed to start. That's what my team's looking like. With Saliba on the bench. I think, like, what's the worst? I feel like he will start looking at the leaks. I'm still going to be on here tomorrow as well. Early morning, like 9 o'clock before deadlines as well, so. No, we do not want Porto goalkeeper Diego Costa. He can 0-1-2-1 do one up his arse, mate. Dia's bad, but he's not that bad to bloody bring him in. You don't want him. Nah, we'll have Henderson back next season. We'll have Dean Henderson back in goal next season. We'll be fine. No way in hell he won't be playing for us main in goal next season. So that'd be good. That'd be a nice for us. Yeah, I know Bowen's out. But I just feel like as much as I love my club, I feel like we'll win 2-1. De Gea can't save crap for the love of God, but he's not as bad as bloody. He's not that bad to bring in Diego Costa for him from bloody Porto. Oh, Slay's mad at me for saying that. That's hilarious. No, we don't. No, we don't. Rashford's a trash water, I suppose. If Ronaldo played, it'd be nice. But Alanga we could play up front if he decided to. I wouldn't say we needed a striker that bad because arguably Sancho and Anthony are pretty much our strikers. I mean, you could even play Bruno Fernandes up like a more CF role. I get what you're saying, but I don't feel like we're going by Ivan Toney, to be fairness. I do like Tony though. I feel like Ray is still a better pick over De Gea. For me. Maybe have both and put De Gea on the bench for this week, play Raya this week and next week, and play De Gea game week 16 maybe. Are you still here, Mallet, anyway? By the way, it doesn't make a difference if Bowen's out. That's like saying, I don't know, Messi's out the Barcelona team. Not Messi's out the Barcelona team. Messi's out the PSG team, and Mbappe's out the PSG team. And then they're not going to win. They've still got Neymar. Or all three of them out. They're still going to win because of the players they've got. It doesn't matter if one player's out. West Ham are quite a good team. Guess so. I know. Look, I already said we're going to win 2-1. I just feel we'll concede. I know we're probably going to concede the way we played some games. We have a spell. And if you're a United fan like me, then fair enough. I'll probably be getting things. You're surprised I ain't playing Saliba, mate. I'm surprised I ain't playing Saliba, to be fairness. That might, God's forsaken, change by tomorrow. I've just got a gut feeling that Forest are going to beat Arsenal and Forest are going to score, to be fairness, mate. I've just got a really big gut feeling. So if Forest go and beat Arsenal, just remember you heard it here first, boys. No, I actually have a good feeling. I had a good feeling Liverpool were going to lose last week, and I had a bet on Forest to win. I had a good feeling. I'll stick with the gut feelings every week. Yeah, I don't know. Salah probably score now, and I'll backfire on my arse and be fuming, but one of them. I'm still going to give you the best picks. Like, on paper, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus, best picks. Probably going to score against Forest. I've just got a gut feeling. I'm trying to stick with it. Yeah, I've just got a gut feeling. I just feel like Forest will score, and I feel like there's less chance of Leeds scoring. The only thing I'm worried about is Saliba could score goals. No, Fabio, I don't think that's going to happen, mate. I feel like people are slagging off Salah and Liverpool players, but if you look at the last 4 games in general, they beat City, Salah scored. They beat Rangers, Salah scored a hat-trick. He blanked against Forest. He had gotten a goal and an assist in the Ajax game. You look on paper between the last 4, he's not actually playing bad and he's not actually out of form. He was just unlucky to not score in that game. Or get an assist to Van Dijk. But I'm going to be on for around 4 minutes and continue studying. Yeah, that's fine, Fabio, mate. Don't worry about it. If you put your questions in now, if you're only going to be here for 5 minutes, I'll answer your questions quickly while I'm sorting everyone else out. If you want me to sort anything out for you quick. Before you study. Yeah, I feel like Liverpool at home are going to batter Leeds. I feel like everyone's going to be surprised and Salah's going to score like 2 goals. For me. I love Almiron this week, though. I loved him before the bloody Spurs game. I was bringing him in either way. I just feel he's great. I feel like maybe you could have Dominic Calvert-Lewin over Tony as a punt, Mellet, like long term, but Tony will be good against Wolves and Nottingham Forest, but Calvert-Lewin looks very good. So that might be something I'd be looking to maybe do a free transfer Tony to Calvert-Lewin one of the weeks. So I'd try and leave you 4 points spare. Got that Lingard issue from Forest this year. Yeah. No, to be honest, Jesse Lingard looks good. No. Fabio, don't talk out your arse. Don't talk out your arse on my stream. I'm sorry for that, but don't talk out your arse. Dev, don't get rid of Haaland for Alvarez. Haaland will start and Alvarez probably won't play many games this season, so no, don't do that. And for me, I don't feel like KDB really is... No, I don't feel like that. No, I don't. I really don't. There's a couple points difference between KDB and Haaland, and there's a formally price gap. I feel that's really biased, that is. There's like a 5 point gap between KDB and Foden, and Foden's 4 mil cheaper. No. And nah, obviously don't do Haaland for Alvarez. Keep Haaland in, Dev. Ignore any news you hear off the fantasy stupid app. Haaland will be starting and he'll bloody score like 2 goals. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I think you're still talking at your arse. KDB's not more consistent than Foden, for my opinion. No. Like a 5 point gap in it. And I feel Foden plays better half the time than KDB. KDB gets an assist, yeah, but Foden's always up attacking, gets goals and assists. He's doing better in my opinion. Ajax is pronounced Laxey. Yeah, no, Dev, I wouldn't do Haaland for Alvarez. If you send me, if you put your team in chat, Dev, or you put your code, once I've finished Malat's wildcard. What was I doing anyway, Malat? I was doing all your wildcard, wasn't I? So let's get your wildcard done. So we were going to get rid of Chilwell. Got 7 mil. Do like Gomez. I still do like Gomez. Then you could have. You can't afford Arnold, can you? Maybe a double up on the Arsenal defence, but then I say that. Maybe a Spurs defender this week against Bournemouth. And then bench him for the lot next week. Yeah, I do Slay, but honestly, I just feel he'll keep a clean sheet. And with the news I've heard, he's starting. With the news I've heard, he will be playing with Kanate. It'll be Kanate, Van Dijk, him, and Arnold starting. Because Robertson is still lacking a little bit of fitness. And Gomez has been playing very well. He did need to give a penalty though against Forest. That was the only bad thing. But it's like, I just feel he'll probably do better. Dominic Calvert-Lewin rotation issue. Calvert-Lewin's not a rotation issue. No, he's not a rotation issue for me. Yeah, Fabio, I've seen a bit, mate. Just DM me on here in a bit. If you need anything, just put it in the comments in a bit. But yeah, I've seen a bit, mate. Yeah, back to studying. I've got to do my studying a bit actually as well after the stream. Anyway, what was I about? Dominic Calvert-Lewin rotation. Yeah, I just still don't think he's a rotation issue for me. We'll see about that on the weekend, but by the looks of this, I'm going to bring you in for Mitrovic probably. I feel people will be shocked with how good Everton play. Alright, you could possibly replace Zaha down. Yeah, that's a maybe. He's only just come back from injury, Slay. It was his first week back from injury this season, and he scored a goal. First week back. But Calvert-Lewin last year was very, very good. He finished on 215 points. He was very, very good last year. Anderson from Crystal Palace, yeah. Anderson from Crystal Palace, maybe, yeah. But I just feel like Southampton will probably score against Crystal Palace. I'm trying to think logically what's going to be good for you. It's between Ben White, Saliba, Perisic, possibly Van Dijk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's under like what I think is 0.4% for owned. No, not even a 1%. He's like 0.4, 0.5 owned. So bringing him in, that's like 2-week punt. Yeah, I want to see how he does this week. But to be honest, they have got Fulham. I just feel like even if he blanks, I'm still going to bring him in because that Leicester and Bournemouth coming up, and he was so good for me last year, and I know how good he is scoring wise. Plus, he'll be on penalties for Everton as well. He'll be on pens, which is even more good than being on penalties if he starts. If he doesn't start, which is doubtful he will start, then he'll be on pens. But No start, to be fair. I would go for him. Yeah, but I just, like I said, you want to try and get clean sheets on the wild card, obviously, don't you? And I just don't think he'll start. So I'm probably saying go for Perisic, I think. Because Perisic should start this week. Looking at the news I've had, Perisic he's going to start looking at the news I've seen. So I'd probably go Perisic. Because you can bring the lot in next week for Perisic, bench Perisic that game and play him game week 16. And playing Perisic against Bournemouth would be very good. He's got really big chances of picking up big assists there. I do like Perisic against Bournemouth. That's probably who I'd go with, to be fairness. Probably Perisic. Let's me add him. You got 1.5 mil spare. Let's see what we can do with that 1.5 mil now. Okay. 1.5, what could we do? Possibility to go Mane to Saka, but I think that's necessary. Maybe. Malat, the only reason I'm bringing Calvert-Lewin is because I'm going to get rid of Mitrovic for that City game in the week after, and I like a good punt on him. But what I'd do is I'd have Tony this week, leave money spare, see how Tony plays this week, because he has got Forest a week after. And because you want Kane in, Tony's a better option for you. I'm just doing Calvert-Lewin because I've already got Tony and Haaland. So obviously I'm bringing him in for Mitrovic. That's why I'm bringing him in, but you can do that if you like. Anthony over Zaha. I don't really like that move as much as I'm a United fan. I still like Zaha. No, I am looking at Saka for Martinelli, but I do feel like Martinelli is good still. And I do feel like you could probably use that 1.5 mil elsewhere. So I'm trying to think what else he could do. Maybe upgrade the bench a bit, maybe upgrade something else, you know. Have a look. By the way, put Perisic in. Perisic, definitely over Anderson. Perisic against Bournemouth. He'll start against Bournemouth too. He's on the predicted lineup. You can always change it last minute on deadline day to Anderson as well. So I just put Perisic in for now. I just don't know. I think, honestly, I'd be keeping Zaha. Look at these fixtures. Southampton, West Ham and Nottingham Forest. Then he's got Fulham and Bournemouth 17 and 18. So my plan is to keep Zaha all the way up to game week 16, keep him 17 18, and then get rid of him in game week 20. Not game week 20, game week 19. Because those fixtures, I'm not worried about that. I think he's going to bag against Southampton, West Ham. He's going to do bits against Forest. Saka will probably play well, but I just feel like there's no real point getting rid of Zaha, because you'll want Zaha. Let's say Saka has a really good game next week, let's say he scores a goal, and Zaha gets only, let's say, assist or blanks. You're still going to want him the 2 weeks after over Saka's weeks anyway. So for me, I'd just be keeping Zaha. I wouldn't be looking to get rid of Zaha. Plus, Saka is flipping injury prone half the time. He'll probably get himself injured again. Plus, you're going to make money off Zaha. Almiron, yeah, he's a must for me. If you... I'd be playing Almiron. This is the team I'd be recommending at the moment, and I might do one more adjustment to it, but I'm thinking what else I could do for you. But Almiron, he's definitely someone I'd be starting this week. I'd be jumping on him while he's only like 14%, 15% before he starts to hit like 20 odd percent owned after this week. He's definitely someone I'd be jumping on. He looks very, very good, and he's outscoring the likes of Salah. I reckon he'll probably get another goal against Aston Villa. And it was going to get a goal or assist minimum against Aston Villa. He'll get bonus points too. He's definitely someone I'll be going for. His form is impeccable right now. Plus he's on penalties as well, I think. So he's definitely a great option. Kane's obviously... I could be tempted to cap Kane over Haaland if I had that team, but I just feel like Haaland's probably still the best captain. But maybe you could go different this week, captain Kane against Bournemouth. Yeah, it's a sleight of hand. I kind of need Kane to blank. I'm not going to be horrible, but I know for a fact he won't. He's going to get a goal against Bournemouth or an assist. Knowing Kane, he does like playing against Bournemouth. He does enjoy that. Yeah. Let's just go Mitrovic over Tony and bring Calvert-Lewin in the week after. No, actually no, I won't do that. You still here, Melot? We are going to change your goalkeeper though. We want 2 decent goalkeepers, so we are going to get rid of Ward, and we're going to bring in Pickford. I like Pickford. I do like his fixtures upcoming. He'll have Bournemouth and Leicester. You can play him against Leicester game week 16 or Bournemouth, whoever it is. I think it's. Let's just sell the transfer mate quickly. Players. Just information. Yeah, Bournemouth. Yeah, I'd definitely be putting Pickford on the bench then. Yeah, Pickford on the bench. Because you can play Pickford game week 16 and play Raya this week and next week and play him game week 16. What's that now? Predicted 56. Is it predicted more is my question with Saka in? That'd be my question. No, it'd still be predicted 57. And Zaha's better long term. I'll be keeping Zaha in. I wonder what's it like if I put Calvert-Lewin in? Predicted 2 less points. The Tony's still favourite in that week. What about... Anthony that week. Yeah, Zaha's a must keep. You got a mil spare, so I'd probably just look at upgrading Nico Williams. In fact, actually, I'd do Andreas. You want at least 4 points spare though, don't you? Got left April. Jesus or Tony. I wouldn't get Jesus. They're both on 1 yellow card for ban. That's why I'm kind of thinking maybe he could go Calvert-Lewin. Josh, you see in my team, who would you replace, Ramon or Andreas? What do you mean replace Almiron? You've only just put Almiron in, haven't you? What do you mean? Send me another picture of your team, because that what's it one's stupid. Right. That looks quite good to me with 0.8 black left. I would maybe look to... I do like Alex Iwobi as well as Almiron. I do like Iwobi. If you are looking to take a punt, Smellet, maybe Iwobi instead of Almiron. I'd be putting him in this week. This week is the week you want to target him, Slay, because you'll want him this week and next week, and then you'll get rid of him game week 16 for a Wobie. Like, after this week, when I get my transfer, it's going to into Calvert-Lewin. The week after, game week 15, it's going to go into Tony, and then game week 60, I'll have a Wobie. Oh yeah, let's see who you've actually got in your midfield. Oh yeah, ignore me, you have got a solid midfield, haven't you? I'm forgetting about that. You haven't got your transfer left either, have you? Honestly? Have you got a transfer this week still, Slay? If you've still got a transfer, I'd roll with that, hold your transfer, then maybe next week, go De Bruyne into someone. Calvert-Lewin is a third striker. Maybe go like De Bruyne into a big punt. Yeah, I know, but I really wouldn't want to change any of your team right now for this week. Oh, you mean for next week? So you're not going to do any transfers this week? Oh, you're going to take a hit though. Oh no, you've got Jesus. Ignore me. No, I wouldn't change that team. No, I wouldn't change that team. Honestly, I'd just go Jesus out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do think Tony could get a big haul this week. It's just he has got that yellow card risk. And the good thing about Calvert-Lewin is he is low owned and they both could blank. I wouldn't be surprised. But I just feel Calvert's probably better long term. He is a very good punt and he is a bit of a risk, but it's up to you whether you want to take that or not. Take that with whatever you think, but you could go Calvert. I do really like Calvert-Lewin. I have got to say, I do like Calvert-Lewin. But take that with what you think. Like I said, you're on a wild card, so you can always take him out before the deadline. But at the minute, I'm 80% sure he's going to start with the news I've had. I will go on Twitter now and look at the predicted lineups again. But the last time I checked, Perisic was on it. But there has been another lineup today I haven't checked, so let me have a look. If he's not on it, then I'll have a look for someone else to bring in. Maybe Gomez and upgrade. I don't know, Nico Williams. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah, no. At this new lineup, he might be out, but there's two here. One of them's predicting him in, one of them's predicting him out. The one I normally use is predicting him out, but I think he would play. But just to be on the safe side, we'll switch him for someone else. Just to be on the safe side. We could free up money that way as well, actually. You want Anderson. I don't think Crystal Palace would get a clean sheet, really, though. Maybe Eric Dyer. I'll be replacing him maybe with Eric Dyer. Yeah, Dyer's nailed on, no matter what. So yeah, I'd go Dyer instead then, maybe. If you're unsure about Perisic, I'd go Dyer instead. Hit for next week. Yeah, Slay, I'm going to get round to your team, bro. Can you give me just 1 second and I will tell you who to take a hit for next week? Okay? Just give me 1 sec. And the problem is, in saying that, I can't really tell you who to take a hit for next week until I see how players played this week. That's the problem. I can't really give you that without actually looking at who's going to play this week and how they play. Oh no, I'm saying for him because he's unsure, but yeah, maybe. I feel if it was my decision, I feel for me, I would be playing Zaha over Saka. But honestly, say if it was my decision on Perisic, for me, I feel if I was in that situation the same as him, I'd be playing him. Just for the chance of he plays 60 minutes and he could get assists against Bournemouth. I feel he could. But at the same time, it's a hard dilemma this week. It really is. Oh, you vice Jesus, Slay. I probably would advise De Bruyne to be fairness. I did say De Bruyne or Jesus though, so it's up to you. Yeah, maybe you'll have to play. To be honest, I feel like Guy will blank and get like 2. You know, I feel like we'll concede anyway. So maybe in your situation, Slay, just play Perisic. Because if them two are going to blank anyway, you're going to lose maybe 1 point. And I feel he's got more attacking potential. And if he does start, it's even better. I feel like this is something I'd be going for on a wild card, but everyone has their own opinions of it. There is 2 lineups. One predicts him in, one predicts him out. It's a 50-50 call this week, but I just feel like he was rested last week. You know, he's been being rested ready, and I reckon he'll play this game because he's been rested. That's normally how it goes. It's a punt on Paris. It's like I'm saying, but I just feel he has got more attacking potential, even if he only plays 45 minutes. He's got more attacking potential than any other player in your team on the bench for defence. And I just feel like Dalot won't get a clean sheet anyway. I don't think Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace will struggle to get a clean sheet as well. I could be wrong, and that could backfire. But just on paper, Southampton look good, and Crystal Palace's defence got turned up the other week. Chilwell back. You want to put Chilwell? But what? Don't put Chilwell in. Don't put Chilwell in. I know don't put Chilwell in. For me, it's either Dyer or Perisic there. Dyer's the safest option for a clean sheet, but I just feel Perisic is a great option too. But it's up to you. But Dyer is the safer option, just not as attacking, but can get headers on corners, so I do like Dyer too. To be fair. I'd put Dyer in your situation. That would be the team I'm looking at. And you've got like 0.5 spare, so maybe go. The only other move I'd probably do with that team with your 0.6 spare is just go Nico Williams and transfer him into White. Oh no, technically you're on 100 points something, ain't you? So you've got technically you've technically got 5 mil, haven't you? So you could actually just leave Nico Williams there. You've got 0.6 plus 3, so you've got 0.9 spare. Is that correct? You've got 0.9 spare. Wait, Chilwell is a punt. No, Chelsea will concede anyway. And plus, Chilwell's not guaranteed minutes. He's not back to full minutes. Plus, I think he likes to bloody rotate players 24/7. So yeah, it's a bit of a risk. Let me just look at the things again. It's up to you. I feel like Graham Potter decides to rotate loads of things with Chilwell right now. He's rotating all the old players. He's even been benching Sterling some games. He's playing all the young uns. I feel like Chalobah's starting, you've got all the young players that are starting. I feel that's probably how it'll come out, and Chilwell won't actually get as much minutes as you think. I feel like it's a punt. And I think it's a bad punt as well. I think Chelsea will concede. People are giving Chelsea too much praise, really. They're not actually playing that good. People are praising them too much because they had a couple games. Like Mount, I even said to Slay, Mount would have two good games and start blanking. He's done exactly what I said. He had 2 good games and now he's been blanking again. Every year he does it. He'll have a couple good games and he'll blank. It's a phase players go through. And they always seem to do it. I do like Calvert-Lewin, and that's someone I would be going for there. I do like Dyer. It's up to you. Do what you like with what it gives you, but I wouldn't be changing any of that. I'd keep that 0.9 more you've got in the bank. And then maybe upgrade Almiron to, I don't know, a 6 mil midfielder game week 16 or a Iwobi or something. I'd go Iwobi for Almiron game week 16. That's what I'd be playing. And I definitely would be playing Almiron. It's not something I'd go against. But it's up to you. But for me, that team is going to bag really well. So it's up to you. Take it with a pinch of salt. Right, Slay. We'll put your team in now and see what we're getting for yours. Let's put your team in now. But he can take that with a pinch of salt because I've given him my advice. If you don't want to listen to it, then that's fine. I just, like I said, the players he was looking at, De Gea and stuff, felt like a terrible picks, but it's up to him. Right, let's get this in. So who have you got? You've got Greenwood here. I'm just going to put your team in for this week and see what your points are predicted, and then we'll faff about with it for next week. And obviously, Jesus. By the way, you won't have a 55 predicted points. You'll have like a 70 predicted points. It's because the armband's not on Haaland. Like if I just click make him captain, and we'll change these around 1 sec. Switch. A lot. Transfer Perisic to transfer Perisic in. You haven't got Cancelo. You've obviously got Saka, Martinelli, so I've got to change all this now. Transfer Saka. Got 5 midfielders, ain't you? So haven't actually got Andreas. So let's switch that. We'll do it to your exact team. Just give me a sec. Then obviously you're not there. Was Foden, Royner's there. We'll free up the money back on the bench now. It's going to do this because your team's going to be worth like 102 mil like mine. Hey Harry, yeah I know Haaland's the best. I'm just putting Slay's team in the predicted points. If you want me to put yours into predicted points as well, Harry, I can do. By the way, don't want Williams, but you had Ward there. That'll free up the money. But let's just say we used to look at this without ignoring that fact. Who else have you got in goal? You've got Pope in goal as well. Because obviously you've got this as your team. It's just gonna do this because it's being gay with the money thing. Because obviously it doesn't show you actual right a lot. You haven't got Cancelo obviously either. That's why it's doing that because you haven't actually got Cancelo. You've got Gomez. So we're just gonna. Yeah, and then obviously he'd go down and whatever else. But that's kind of what you're looking at. Yeah, I know you ain't got Cancelo. This is your predicted points right here. 59 with Pope, Trippier, Perisic, a lot. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter, obviously. The money don't really matter, it don't affect the points. Harry, I can put your team, by the way. I'll get my team up again, boys, but that's your predicted points, Slay. We'll go to... Your predicted points next week will be 55, Slay. That would be your predicted points next week if you was to play that same squad, but obviously you'd adjust it. So you'd play Nico Williams over Perisic. And that would be your predicted points. But what I'd be doing, I'd be going back to your team the week before. And I'd look. So this is what I'd do. We go to game week 15 next week. We'll see what the points look like, sorry. This is what I'd be doing next week. If you want to do Calvert-Lewin, then obviously I'd go Jesus to Calvert. And what would that predict your points at? 56. And I just don't feel there's much more Yeah, Slay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't include the bench. You got Guy and you got Ward instead of Pickford, that's fine. I can change that. But the bench doesn't actually matter. Unless you're actually using the players. But I suppose if you are going to actually I'm going to use the players, so I can suppose I'll put Guy in. Jesus, game. Guy. And you've got Ward out. Jeez, why have you put bloody Target there? Flip me. Right. Anyway. Yeah, no, it's fine. So that would be your game week 15 team if you was to just do Jesus to Calvert-Lewin for a free transfer. You would take a -4 for a third striker. Yeah, it wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to take a -4 for a third striker. You wouldn't have enough money anyway. Plus, I prefer having Martinelli and Saka. There's not really a good third striker, really. Because Mitrovic has got City, Tony's got Forest, and he's got 1 yellow card off, getting a ban. There's not really much more. I'd just be happy with your Saka. If I had that midfield, I wouldn't be looking at getting 3 strikers. That midfield's stronger than having 3 strikers, mate. That's a great team with the upcoming fixtures. The only thing, obviously, you'd do, you'd bench Perisic that week. So that's how your team would look game week 15. I'd just do Jesus to Calvert-Lewin. You don't need to. So honestly, I wouldn't go searching for -4s. Because this is the way I think about it. If you were to take a -4 from, let's say, Gay to someone, right? They've got to get... They're going to get 2 points, so they've got to at least get a clean sheet for you to make 2 points. But let's say Gay blanks with 2 and they blank. You know, you're not losing any points then. There's not necessarily a -4 you should be taking. Don't think just because I've got 3 strikers and I'm in the situation I'm in that you need 3 strikers. Honestly, that team is stronger than mine right now, if you want me to be truly honest with you. So I'd be really happy about that team. I wouldn't be looking to mess around with that team. For me. It's not something I'd be trying to just screw around with. It's quite good the way it is. Like, if I show you, right, think of this. Game, like, you've actually got consistent because you've got 56 here, right? You go into next week. Let's just adjust the team right now. So let's say, obviously, Chelsea here. So that's not great. So I think you'd play Ward against West Ham because Leicester look okay. Then you predict your points. And then we're going to go Gomez in for Dalot. Who's obviously got Fulham. Depending on, obviously, the start. Yeah, no, honestly, it doesn't matter what everyone else is. I used to, don't bother taking hits. Like, there's loads of people I know who are playing like 5 in the midfield. There's not many people who are up the top flipping 200 who really got 3 strikers really at the minute. Not everyone has 3 strikers. We go to yeah. It's not actually a. And looking at the team sheets right now, I'd argue your team's probably better than most. And that even me being nice. Because what would you actually prefer to have? Right? Would you rather take a -8 and probably lose De Bruyne and get a 3rd striker? There's no need. You don't need to, like I've said. Game week 15, this is how I'd plan it out. I'd do Jesus to Calvert-Lewin. Don't take any more hits. No. Don't take any more hits this season unless it's mandatory, and none of these are mandatory. Because honestly, everyone who's got Pope and Ward, there's loads of people who've got Pope and Ward are going to be in the same situation. And Ward, really, even against West Ham, I think Leicester would probably beat West Ham. Leicester look decent right now. And even if he concedes, right, you've got to think, if you take a -4, like I've just said, you've got to get a clean sheet minimum to make 2 points on that player. So what's the point of taking the hit? It's not worth the risk. And you can't guarantee anything in football. So for me, I'd just go with Ward. Trippier, I play him. I play Trippier against anyone. Trippier doesn't bother me. I'll play him against anyone. To be honest, I would argue actually you could probably play Pope against Chelsea because Arsenal didn't make. Not Arsenal's. Newcastle did great against Spurs, and Pope was still getting save points. So I feel like honestly, don't take any more hits. I'll tell you if there's a hit necessary, and I don't see any problem with your team. It looks nice. Martinelli and Saka versus Wolves. That's great. Game week 16. You've got Foden, De Bruyne and Haaland versus Brentford. That's amazing. Calvert-Lewin's got Bournemouth. That's your game week 16 team, right? This is your game week 15 team if you used to just do a transfer from Jesus to Calvert-Lewin. That still looks very good, right? You've got Pope and Trippier, who are against obviously Southampton. I'm saying you're going to get 2 clean sheets and save points there. The lot's going to do great against Villa. Guy probably should be able to keep a clean sheet against West Ham, I reckon. West Ham don't look as good as Southampton have looked this week, but it's just better than playing him over Perisic and Gomez, obviously. So he's someone you play anyway. Saka and Martinelli, I reckon they could bag against Chelsea. Zaha looks great still. Foden, De Bruyne and Haaland obviously are going to bag. Calvert-Lewin looks great too for Leicester. So for me, I think them predicting you to get 56, I reckon you'll probably get about 60 odd. This doesn't really take the captain as much, because like if I was to, let's just say I was to captain him, like it only takes it down 5 points. So it doesn't really take a lot of consideration in with the captain really. Let's go to game week. No, this will be game week 16 with 1 transfer in hand. So you've got a transfer this week anyway. You don't need to take a hit or anything. You've got a transfer this week. But I'm trying to think what I'd probably do with this free transfer this week. For this game week 16 actually, Perisic versus Leeds. Thinking of this, I'll be playing Perisic. You're right, mate. You're right, Lewis. I'm just sorting out everyone's predicted points for game week 15, 16 and 14 and stuff. Haaland's my captain this week, mate. This is just Slay's team. This ain't my team. This is just his team. I've put in the predicted points. I've just done my route, so like who to transfer in game week 15 and then obviously 16 and stuff. So with your 1 free transfer this week, Slay, for this week, this game week 16, the only, considering you got a free transfer, the only transfer I'd probably make for the last week I'd just do a transfer and go, the last week with that 1 transfer you've got, I would literally just go and bring Pickford in for that last week and play Pickford in goal for Ward. We go to transfer. That's what I do with you game week 16 free transfer, and then just play Pickford over Ward. That brings your team up to pretty much predicted 60 points. Louis, oh, I swear to God, right, if someone walks in the stream again and says, oh, Haaland isn't going to start, oh, Haaland might not even play, I'm still going to play him up front. I'm still going to captain him. If he plays for 20 minutes, he'll still score a goal. And I'm not being funny. People transferring him out are just, I don't really call people stupid often, but they are stupid. It's dumb transferring him out. Same with Jesus this week. People are making daft transfers out. People are bringing out Jesus for Mitrovic, when Mitrovic got City the week after. Why would you do that? There's no need behind these moves that people are making. The only move I really agree with this week is Almiron, that people are bringing Almiron in. That's about it. I don't agree with bringing Ben White or Salah in really, because I feel like Arsenal are going to have a game against Forest and Forest are going to score. Who are you captaining, Lewis? If you're captaining Kane, let's say you've got Kane and you're captaining Kane over him, then I'd be like, okay, fair enough, that's fair. Or you're captaining obviously Salah, then I'd be like, fair, but I just don't think I can go captain against him for this week. I feel like he will do something. And worst case, if he gets benched, Salah will be my captain and Andreas comes on. So what's the worst case that's going to happen for me really here? I might as well play him. I don't want to bench him. I don't want to, lose on him. And I'm going to captain him. Because if less people are going to captain him this week, then fair enough for me. He'll score. For me, they'll play him. Honestly, Lewis, looking at the stats, he's going to play. And he's definitely going to be on the minimum he'll be on the bench, and he'll definitely minimum be playing 45 minutes that game. He'll play 45 minutes minimum. I can promise you that. I'm sure he's on the predicted. I'm sure he's on the predicted team sheet as well. When I just looked, I can't remember, but I think he is. We'll know news tomorrow as well, because I'm going to do a live stream like 9:30. I just captain Haaland and vice Foden. I just captain Haaland and vice Foden. It's a knock. People are bigging it up too much, Lewis. Honestly, people are being so thingy about it. It's a knock, and he's still getting used to the Prem. But I feel like he'll brush it off and play. It's a knock. People do it with every injury. People did it with Salah last year. Salah had a knock. There was loads of people. Oh, he's not going to play. He's going to bench. Loads of people benched him. Loads of people didn't captain him, and then he scored a hat trick the same game in 45 minutes. And I just feel like Haaland's capable of doing that. He can play for 30 minutes and he can score more than 2 goals easily. So I just feel like he's going to play, he's going to score. And I feel it's going to backfire on a lot of people this week who aren't captaining him. And they've got these, let's say, 3-4 mil players who are going against him and people who are benching him. It's going to bite him in the arse when he goes and scores, and I'll get a massive rank boost. That's the way I'm seeing it this week. I just feel yes, it's hard. Yes, he might not start. But for me, he's going to be guaranteed 45 minutes. The injury wasn't that bad. I wouldn't even call it an injury. He took him off at the right time because he was limping a bit, but he shook it off, Haaland did, and he was fine afterwards on the bench. He was fine. I watched the Dortmund game, and honestly, it wasn't bad. People make it out to see worse than it actually is. And people are having their biased opinions for no reason. And just benching him and all this fantasy news on the app annoys me when they say, oh, I'm going to bench Haaland, or I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. They are going to do that. They're just telling you stupid flipping advice, and it annoys my head. I try not to listen to any of it. I always go with my gut feeling and what I think. And I don't let anyone else try to decide that for me in a way. And I think Haaland plays for me. I think he'll outscore anyone anyway. Because even if you look at it anyway, what would you rather have? Foden for 90 minutes or Haaland for 30 minutes? Haaland still will probably outscore Foden. And it's not even the case it's not actually easy to pick a captain other than him. Foden this week is guaranteed 45 minutes in my opinion. Guaranteed, because he's been benched the last 2 really to West. Right? But I feel like he wouldn't really outscore Haaland. Like, he'd probably, yeah, if Foden gets a goal, fair enough. But Haaland can get 2 in that time. And I just feel like Foden normally only plays really as good when Haaland is there. If that makes sense. I promise you now, I reckon Salah scores this week. I said this before, like, he plays good against Rangers, hat-trick. You know, he scored against City, blanked against Forest, and got an assist in the goal. In the last 4 games, he's returned in 3 of those games. And in 2 of them, he's returned he's returned 1 more than twice, and returned, last game, assist in the goal. And he got a goal against City. And if he would have been passing the ball to Jota on 2 occasions, he would have had another 2 assists. What's my rank right now? Don't let me talk about my rank at this point, mate. I was 100k by this time last year, and now I think I'm about the 1.8 mil mark or something, so you can take that with a pinch of salt. This year's been a bit of a cockily crap year due to me having Salah the whole year, but it's been one of them. It annoys me earlier when someone walks in the chats and go, De Bruyne is more consistent than Foden. I was like, okay, by 5 points? In my opinion, that's not really true. I find Foden a bit more consistent than De Bruyne this year. Not even just of FPL points. There's a 5-point gap, so you'd think De Bruyne, but just on stats alone, Foden's actually outperforming De Bruyne in stats, in my opinion. And considering there's a 4 mil price difference, I prefer Foden all the way. It's a shame I bought him in so late. But obviously I missed out on that Foden haul. I missed out on that hat-trick by Bowen or whatever. I missed out on the Maddison hat-trick. I was going to take a -4 to bring Maddison in that week. If I would have done that, I would have been on about the 720 point mark now. I would have been like under the top 1 mil, so there's some decisions I regret. I didn't have Haaland at the start either. I had Kane instead. There were some captain decisions, like I've captained Salah some weeks instead of Haaland, and he scored a hat-trick 1 week and I didn't captain him. Yeah. What I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying, there's not a lot of points gaps, but there's like due to my decisions this year, I've probably cost myself about 70 points due to certain decisions. And I took a minus 24 this year and still am on the 700 points. Well, 699, but it's pretty much 700. So I'm not unhappy with myself. I'm just going to take a drink, you boys don't mind. I'm not unhappy with myself. I'm just frustrated with some of the decisions I've made. This is the time I've been looking to go different. These next 3 weeks are your crucial points to go really differential. I am planning to go ballsy after the World Cup, and we will talk about that. I am planning to go ballsy as hell. Almiron is definitely someone that's going to be included in my team, as well as Alex Iwobi. I really like Alex Iwobi. I feel he's going to be a very big differential, and he's going to be under like 2% owned. He's going to be very, very big differential, and he looks very, very good on form. Like, even as a bench option, he's just very, very good for Everton, so I feel like he's a great pick. Calvert-Lewin I might be turning towards as well. I feel he is going to be my team next week. I'm going to turn my camera off a sec, boys, one sec. Okay, that's sound. Honestly, don't worry about your rank. The last 3 years I've finished top 1k every year. Not last year, but the year before. I was on 3 million rank in the world at this point in the game, and I finished top 1k. It just shows you how the second half of the season can really, really change your rank. So I wouldn't be too worried, and that position you're in right now is still a really good position, 750k. Like, I'd be very happy at that right now. Obviously, I'm a United fan. I can't remember what fan you said you was, Lewis, and I apologise for that, but I do like our fixture run after the World Cup. I ain't gonna lie. The only one I'd really be looking to bring in is Dalot. That's the only one really I'd be looking to bring in. Just because that assist potential. And we're going to get some big clean sheets. I'm just careful with the way I speak about us, because I don't want to seem like I'm being biased, and I'm not either. And I have got to watch, because we are playing a bit topsy-turvy right now. We are cocking a lot of shots up when we're taking on 25 shots and putting away 1. And with Varane out as well, that could mean a big hole in our side with Varane being out for the next couple of weeks. But he will be back after the World Cup, so that is a bonus. I'm just going to dead end my team off the next couple of weeks. No, I don't think Rashford can be good. I've learnt my lesson with Rashford this year, and he's not really a differential. To be honest, Anthony's more of a differential. And besides, to be honest, I think Rashford cocks everything up half the time. I don't really like him, to be honest. I'll say that and he'll do something this week, but he's hit or miss. And he doesn't really tend to play good. I prefer Jadon Sancho over Rashford if you're going to buy a Man United player. I like Jadon Sancho. But the difference is, they are good players. I'm not saying Rashford's crap. I'm just saying he's not good fantasy-wise. Same with Sancho is a great player. He's just not good fantasy-wise as much. But I still think he's better than Rashford. But for me, if I was going with any player, I'd go Anthony. But if he was just having one, I'd go Dalot. Basically. For me, after the World Cup, I'll have Zaha for game week 17 and 18. And then drop him game week 19. And that's when I'll look to bring in someone like Saka. Because that week's bad, I suppose. But then after that game week 20, Arsenal have got a sick run of fixtures. And that's really when I'd want Saka in my team. Martinelli is probably not as important, but I would leave money in my team to get into him if need be. I would leave space in my team to get into him. That is the good thing about that. But game week 17 and 18, I'll be saving both those transfers. To be honest with you, Lewis, obviously I'm 15. I've been watching this since I was 4, so I've been watching Prem for 11 years now. We've never really had as bad postponed games like we have the last 3 years. And I'm honest, it's not really something I know too much about. But I'd assume they're just going to be fitted in here and there when we've got when we've got a double game week. You'll find you possibly maybe have a case for the first time ever in FPL due to these postponements this year that you'll have 3 games in 1 week. That might be the case. Or my guess would be they're probably just going to fit them in with the, like, they'll probably fit them in from, like, game week 30 maybe. I'm quite unsure, to be honest, on that. Or maybe there's just going to be, like, 5 or 6 double game weeks. I really don't know at this moment in time. When is a double game week? They're normally around the game week 20 onwards mark. I haven't really looked at the moment, but you'll know when it's a double game week just via Twitter and YouTube, and I'll end up telling you anyway if it is. So don't worry about that. But yeah, it's a hard question that actually, Lewis. I'm unsure, mate. You're probably older than me, Lewis. Anyway, mate. You're probably more than me anyway, lad. Yeah, we've never had a triple game week ever in FPL, but what I'm saying is, due to the Queen passing away and all these postponed fixtures, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm telling you now, it's probably never going to happen, but it would be really sick if they was to implement it into a game where we've got 2 fixtures and have it 3 fixtures in a row. That would be ridiculously insane. Yeah, Slade, don't worry about your triple captain. I'll tell you when to use your triple captain and what week to use it. Bench boost is good for double game weeks, yes. Bench boost is for double game weeks as well as triple captain. I do try to save free hit, but I haven't saved it this year. But normally I try and save it for the double game week, but the last 2 years I haven't. The first year I hit top 1k I did though. But yeah, you obviously saved your bench boost. But in fairness, actually, bench boost isn't even just for double game week. A bench boost is literally like when your bench has really good fixtures, that's when you use the bench boost. Double game week or not really. I'm 15, Lewis, mate. I'm turning 16 in Feb. So you're probably older than me, lad, anyway. But I have been watching Prem for 11 years now, so I've got a bit of insight in that form. And I am football mad. I watch every single game, no matter what it is. I try to watch all the Prem games, all the Prem-related club games in the Champions League. So, like the other day, I had the City game on. I had the Liverpool game on here. I had another game on this monitor. I had a game on my phone. I had like 4 different games on at the same time, tracking the scores and seeing the injury news and the players and stuff all at the same time. I tend to try and multitask the games. But obviously, I always prioritise Man United games and Forest because there are people in the house for Forest, so I try to prioritise those games as well. You live in the UK, nice. That's nice, man. Yeah, to be honest with you, I've only just been as good on FPL the last, like, 4 years. The first year was icky. I started when I was 10. Playing this game for 5 years now. Going on 6. It was technically 6. First year was bad. Second year was okay. Then I hit the 12 and I just went and flew. Really. First year was bad. Second year I say was okay. I run 2 accounts. One got top 1k and one got top 5k. It was actually good, but I just consider it okay because I wanted a better finish than I did. But I'll take the top 1k. Then, obviously, not last year, the year before, I finished in the top 1k, I was 895. And then last year, I finished 655 in the world. And this year, my aim would at least be to probably top 100k because it's not been as good of years. But yeah, it's been a nice run. But that 655 was the best placement. But we are going to stream for a good another hour and a half minimum, boys. We're going to be streaming for a good 3-hour stream today. So let's get the questions in, eh? And we can look through some stuff. Keep the questions coming. Slay, honestly, the first season's a struggle, mate. Because people tell you utter and utter bull crap and people are just being gay and stuff. Yeah, all good, Lewis. Have a great one, mate. Just DM me on here in the comments and stuff, and I'll link you my Instagram in a bit. But yeah, have a good one. I'll get you in the league as well. I have got to create a new league actually for the YouTube. Mate, my game week 1 wasn't that great to be fair, honest lad. I didn't actually do YouTube on this. I haven't actually. This is the first year I've actually done it. Even considering my finishes, this is the first year I decided to actually just do it on my PC and do YouTubes. So I didn't actually really start. I didn't start from game week 1. I think I started around like the game week. I can't remember what the game week started. I think I've been doing this for about 2-3 months now on YouTube. So we've not been doing it that long. I've just had a new lineup in boys off Twitter, so let's see what the Twitter's predicted lineup is for the City game. Oh, this is interesting. Twitter predicting Haaland in, but from the sites I'm looking at now, the City predicted lineup is Cancelo, Edison Cancelo, Diaz Akanji, Laporte Silva, Rodri De Bruyne. Foden's in the predicted lineup, great. Foden's in, don't worry about that, boys. Alvarez in, Grealish. For me, that's bullcrap. Haaland to play. He's even said in the press conference today, if he's fully sure and he's quite sure he's going to play, he even said in the press conference, he's quite sure if he resets him tomorrow, which I guarantee he'll play, and people will be peed. People will be peed off because he'll play. People will be absolutely fuming. I hope everyone in my mini league doesn't captain Haaland. I'm the only one who does it. And then I just get a massive rank boost because that'll be really funny. Well, Foden's in the lineup. Bernardo Silva's in the lineup. Rodri's in. De Bruyne's in. So all yours are in there. Alvarez, Grealish, Laporte, Kanji, Diaz, Cancelo, and Edison. So Alvarez might actually be a good pick. But at the same time, Haaland plays for me. Yeah, it's predicted, and I always say this, it's a predicted lineup. So everyone's going to have their own opinions. This isn't actually like a legit football. This is people going on Reddit, going online and posting their predicted lineups. You know, I could sit and do the same thing and say, oh, I think this person's going to start, and I think this person's going to start. Even though I don't know what's going to happen, because that's probably what half of them don't know what's going to happen. Not really anyone does, and it is hard to judge Pep's decisions, but for me, Foden, De Bruyne and Haaland. Foden and De Bruyne are definitely going to start. Foden's going to start, guaranteed for me. And Haaland, I think, should start. But it's going to be a case of what Haaland's like tomorrow when he assesses him. But either way, he's going to be on the bench minimum and play 45 minutes. So I still think it's the best captain slay. I just don't think... Who else is there really you can captain? Can you really rely on Kane against Bournemouth? I think he'll pop against Bournemouth for maybe a goal. But can you fully rely on him? Not really, because it's Harry Kane. We all know what he's like. You know, can you rely on Jesus? Not necessarily. Fully. You can't really fully rely on De Bruyne without Haaland there for him to put balls into. If he doesn't start and he only comes on 45 minutes. I just feel like that's not really another captain option. I know the only really good captain's options this week is Haaland, Salah and Kane. But I think Haaland's best still. Slay, I've just said there's not really anyone. Because Tony, he's not good after game week 15 and then other stuff. You're right, Alex. And then I just stay with the team you've got. Just honestly, Slay, trust me. Do the team I've put together for you, depending on what happens on the weekend. But for me, I'd do the team I put together for you. What's up, Alex, bro? Nunes captain, you reckon, eh? Yeah, that's not for me, but... Hey, you can take that if you want. I'm going to assume you're a Liverpool fan, though. It sounds like it. Let's get the team back up. I'll put my team into this in a minute and see what we predicted for this week. That's currently what the team is looking like. But yeah, honestly say, just stick with the team. I wouldn't try and push for a Greenwood. Because the only way of doing that is like taking a -8 and it's just pointless. Because your players will outscore. It's just not worth it, mate. It really isn't. You've just got to think it's not worth the hits. Even if the strikers get a goal, it's still not even worth the hits you're taking, because you're always going to lose that in points. The only real way to do it is get rid of De Bruyne. It's not even worth doing it, so just don't. I'd stay out of it and just do Calvert-Lewin in next week and Pickford in game week 16 for Ward. That's all I'm doing. You support United like me? We'll have that then. If you got your team ID code, Alex, if you don't mind me asking me, so I can put the team ID into the team and see what your predicted points is with Nunes captain if you like, and you can have an overview of that. And we can have a look. If you got any transfers as well, I can help you make some transfers if you like. But for me, if you have got Haaland, I'd be captain him. And I'm going to assume you have, because people ain't got Haaland at this point. They must be on like 400 points. Hey, we take United fans. we don't really like Arsenal fans, but we'll tolerate them. Same with Liverpool, we can tolerate them. Even though we don't like them. So what's your team looking like then, lads? But Slay, yeah, obviously, like I said, Calvert-Lewin, mate. I'll be bringing Calvert-Lewin next week. You did Sterling to Rashford. I'll pray for you, mate, but Rashford was on my avoid list this week. And with good reason. But I'll pray for you and hope he does something, mate. Or to be honest, I probably would have kept Sterling, but let's see. We'll leave What's Its team up there and we'll just create a new tab with your team on it. So I can see both your teams at the same time and I can switch between them. Let's have a look. So obviously you've done Rashford in. Ooh. Hold up, what's your current... So this is a team I'm going to assume you're going to go with. You're going to go with... Andreas bench. I'm going to switch that up. You're going to go Kepa in against Brighton. Still think Chelsea will concede that game, so I'm not unsure about that still. You're going to go Trippier in for Kilman. I'd probably prefer... I think Guy concedes and Dalot concedes, but I do prefer Dalot for attacking returns. And I'd obviously be captain in Haaland. Have you already done Sterling to Rashford, yeah? Let's say we transferred. Oh yeah, you've got bloody Mendy, haven't you? I'm thinking you have Kepa. Ignore my dumb ass. I'm so used to people having bloody Kepa in the team. Jesus. You'll go Ward. Fine. And then we'll transfer out. Ignore me. Honestly, I had a half asleep moment then for a minute, which doesn't normally happen. Rashford. Alex, mate. I have 100% faith in United, bud. I just know, with Varane out, and with Maguire or bloody Lindelof starting, we're either going to concede an own goal or something crap's going to happen in the back. I'm still 100% confident we're going to beat West Ham. I just think we're going to beat them like 2-1, 3-1, if you ask me. And that's just me being honest with you, mate. I just think there's a lot of fixing to do with that back line still. I think we've fixed most of the problems, but with Varane being out, and we've still got De Gea in goal, I feel there is still a bit of problems to fix. Why we loaned off Henderson to Forest, I have no bloody clue. We've kind of just got rid of the best goalkeeper in the club for me, and I think he should have been starting the season over De Gea. I think De Gea gets too much praise because of how long he's been at the club. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything he's done for the club and how good he's been, but he's had his day in my opinion now. I just feel like De Gea's had his day, and he's not as good as people make him out to be. He makes great saves, yes, but he's getting old, and I feel like Henderson puts his body in front of the ball more, gets in front of the ball more, you know, saves more, better at saving penalties than De Gea. And I just feel like it's a lot of truth behind that. No, not in defence. I think you've got to give that to Lisandro this year, honestly. As much as people were hating him at the start, it's took him to settle in a bit, like the first couple of games. He has been phenomenal at that back. Like, I'd say him and Varane are definitely the best player of the season for us so far. They have been so tight at the back, working strong together. With Casemiro in front of Varane too, Casemiro's been solid in that midfield. We are playing very well, but we're taking like 20-odd shots a game. We can't put our goals away. We can't score. We hit the post like 12, 15 times a game. You know, and I feel like we're shaky at the minute still. We're on shaky legs. And Varane missing is going to affect the whole team. And I think if he puts Maguire in there, I'm just going to sit there and cry before the game even starts, to be honest with you, Alex. I'm going to sit there and expect a 3-0 loss just by own goals of Harry Maguire. If he starts. I just, Martial, hopefully Martial is back and starting up front. Hopefully we have him back soon. That would be very nice. The only problem with him, I love him for FPL, he's just so injury prone. Really is so injury prone. For me, I'd still be captain in Haaland and I'd just vice captain Darwin or Foden. I'd probably vice captain Foden, to be fairness. I feel like Darwin Núñez is just shaky. He'll probably score against Leeds if he gets enough opportunities, but it's going to take like 10-15 shots, so very hard. I've just realised you've got 3.7 mil in the bank. Does that move? So you're going to have a free transfer next week, ain't you? So let's say this is your team next week. Next week, your team. We'll do your team for next week. I recommend this move to a lot. But what I'd be doing for you next week is literally just go in. In fact, I won't even do Jesus, say what I'd do. Who would you rather get rid? Who would you rather get rid of in that team? Jesus or Darwin? It's up to you who you'd rather get rid of. But what I'd be doing is either Jesus or Darwin out. And that's what I'd be doing. For game week 15. I'd be doing Jesus or Darwin out. I'd probably look more the other way. And then maybe take a hit and go Foden to KDB possibly. But I want to know what his top points is. You do Jesus out, yeah. That's what I was thinking, Jesus out. But I didn't know what you want to do. But I'm thinking because Jesus is on a yellow. Probably what you'd do. Jesus. Flip me in types and caps one more time on the keyboard. Jesus. 5. Dorman. Wardlow's got Everton the week after, so that is good. What I'd do game week 16. Because that team, that'll be your game week 15 team if you bought Jesus out for Calvert-Lewin. And game week 16, you still want to keep, obviously, Núñez and stuff. Rashford's still probably good. This is probably the week where I'd look to go a real big punt and go Dalot out and Trent in for game week 16. That's what I'd be doing game week 16. Hey, 7-1, Alex, mate. Last 3 years, I've had top 1k finishes every single year. And this year, I'm on 699 because I've took a minus 24. And I've had to make... I've had to cock up the seasons like having Salah the whole season, not captaining Haaland for one of his hat-tricks, not having Haaland the first week where he scored a couple goals, and obviously having Kane instead for a blank. So, what about times? I know you could have had Kane. But I'm just thinking, for me, it seems better to keep Darwin Núñez against Southampton and go into Arnold for Dalot for that game week 16. Arnold will be very good. Because you've got to think anyway, you're going to get unlimited transfers game week 16. So you've only got to look for game week 16. Slay, I swear to God, if you even think of taking a minus 4, I'm going to kick you in the arse, mate. That team I'll give you, Slay, is fine for you. And you don't really need, like I've said, that team for you is perfect. But it's either you did Arnold, or if you really are a true United fan, you could go Rashford into Bruno Fernandes for a week if you really want to take a massive punt. which could be good because you've only got to have Bruno Fernandes for 1 week. So you would like to go into him for 1 week. I didn't have Haaland for the first week. And that was only because my brother decided to tell me, go take Haaland out last minute for Kane. He's not going to do anything. No, don't do Trippier to Trent. That's not something I'd do. I think. I say that though, we probably would get a clean sheet that week against Fulham. But they have got Mitrovic, so I am unsure. Because Fulham do look okay. Depending on how the defence does, then yeah. But honestly, Trippier, you can play him against any fixture. And to be honest, I think they'll do good against Chelsea. I really do. I think they'll do good. But Ward's got Everton and West Ham. Obviously, the only problem you would have is you'd have Calvert-Lewin versus Ward. Game week 15. Not 15. Yeah, you would. You'd have Calvert-Lewin versus Ward. But as long as you don't mind having a blank off Ward game week 15 and a clean sheet game week 16, then I'd be fine with that, really. Because Calvert's still going to outscore Jesus, and Jesus will probably get a bloody yellow this week and miss the next game anyway. I'm frightened Tony gets a yellow, but all it would mean is I keep Mitrovic and then go into Calvert-Lewin from Tony instead. I am bringing Calvert-Lewin in myself, by the way. What about Wilson? I prefer Calvert-Lewin. Because Wilson's not necessarily going to be as consistent. Calvert-Lewin's on pen as well. And Calvert-Lewin's less owned, so he's a really big differential that's going to be really good. And with Bournemouth and Leicester in the next 2 fixtures from game week 15. And honestly, Wilson's more of a long-term option. After like game week 18, he's probably good. I just feel like Calvert-Lewin's better. He edges it a bit for me. And I feel like Everton actually are looking really good and are picking up. Wilson's not necessarily a guaranteed 90-minute player for me, but it's up to you. But honestly, I'll do Calvert-Lewin all the way, Alex. Because if Calvert-Lewin scores, you're going to get a massive rank boost. Stupid rank boost. And I reckon he's going to score in both those fixtures and play really well. We've just got to see how he plays in the weekend. And see what his minutes are like. But I reckon he plays for me. And he'll play good. I reckon he'll probably bag a goal against Fulham. And that'll just be settled for me. And I tried to look at his stats as well. He's just very good. He's got great potential as well. He did a 215-point year last year, Calvert-Lewin. Honestly, Alex, is great. It's not someone I'd be thinking not to put in the team. It's someone I would be putting in. And you've only got to keep him for 2 weeks. There's not really much that can happen in 2 weeks between Calvert-Lewin and who did you just say, Wilson? Because Wilson will probably blank against Chelsea, maybe score the week before. And on paper, Calvert-Lewin's got better fixtures. I do think risk and reward is potential. And I was thinking of captaining Salah. But it's not that. People are going to be going off Haaland this week. And you'll find you may only have like 800,000 captain him. But for me, you got to think if he plays for 40, even if he plays for 45 minutes, he's going to outscore most, in my opinion. And who really is there? Darwin can miss half the shots sometimes. I think the Arsenal-Forest game is either Forest are going to win or it's going to be a draw for me. Jesus doesn't do as big, and I'm sorry, Slade, for saying that, mate, because I know you've got him in your team. But Jesus is not going to do as big as I think he is. As people think he is. People think just because it's Forest, people are going to do great, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And I feel like Foden will do big. Yeah, I think Foden will probably do good and get like an assist. But I just feel like Haaland will probably get 2 goals anyway against Leicester. It's Leicester. You know, he comes on, they get a pen, there's 1. He can score easily against Leicester. Foden's going to be supplying the assists as well, I suppose. But he'll get bonuses guaranteed as well if he scores. He's guaranteed 3 bonuses just because everyone will vote for him. So I just feel like you're guaranteed with him a 9-pointer. Minimum. Yeah. But honestly, no, it's not even that. I just think Forest, I said before the Liverpool game, I thought Forest had a decent chance. I thought Liverpool would win. I had Liverpool to win on one bet and Forest won the other. You know, so it was one of them. £300 in my bank though, so it was nice. £300 in my account. Too. Honestly, we're just going with it. Yeah, Liverpool. Not Liverpool, sorry, Arsenal. For me, are not looking as good as people think. Still think Saka's good though. I think Saka, Martinelli will play good. I think like Saka will score and Martinelli will probably get an assist to him, or it'll be the other way around. Jesus just doesn't look well. He doesn't look like he's got his heart set in the actual game as much. He looks like his head's dropped. He's not as attacking and as like aggressive as he was to start the season. He's not getting those shots in like he was. He's not pairing on like he was. He just doesn't look as good of a player for me at the minute. And just the fact of he's got that yellow card potential of getting banned. He gets banned for the week after. That's going to be really bad. Why would you bench Martinelli versus Wolves? Who in their right mind would bench Martinelli versus Wolves? Yeah, don't do that move. Don't do that move. I know you want to play Dalot, but if there was someone, if you wanted to play Dalot, in all honesty, if you wanted to play Dalot, then I wouldn't even. Just let's say Kilman was Dalot. Let's just say Kilman was Dalot a sec. Let's just transfer Kilman to Dalot. Let's say you got rid of Kilman for Arnold. Then that's what I'd play. I'd just bench Rashford. I'd rather bench Rashford than bench Martinelli any day of the week. And I'd just put Rashford as one of the sub slots here. I mean, you could even play Guy against Nottingham Forest instead of Trippier, but I wouldn't really do that for me. Or you play Rashford instead of Trippier. Forest, I don't think they'll do much, but I feel like Forest are actually better than Wolves right now. Wolves suck. You could. What I'd even consider doing. I don't think it lets you do this anymore, does it? Yeah, it will. Okay, sound. That's what I'd do. That's what I'd probably do game week 16. Because you're going to have a clean sheet off Guy, Arnold, Cancelo, and Dalot, I think, guaranteed. That's 24 points. Cancelo could get assists big. I reckon Arnold would get assists. I think Ward could probably keep a clean sheet. No, actually, no, I think you're right, Alex. I'd play that team. That's actually what I'd consider doing. Maybe bench Rashford and Martinelli if you think that. Because Guy should get a clean sheet against Forest. Calvert-Lewin's a must. It's not even me, like, there's loads of players saying the same thing that are in the top 100 pros I've been speaking to on our chat and stuff in the Pro League. In the Pro League, in the top 100 right now, I'm currently sat at 48th in the top 100. Most of them are on like 750s. At least I was sat at 48th actually. That was before this game week. I didn't check. Where am I now? I bet I'm probably about 70 now. Oh no, I'm 59th. We'll take that. But that's probably what I'd do. I'd either play Guy or Martinelli that week. Rashford's a must bench for me. I don't think I'd be playing him that week. I think it was a bit risky, to be honest, getting rid of Sterling for Rashford anyway, but it has freed up money to bring in Trent. So it actually was a good move in a kind of way. But I probably would have bought in Almiron instead of Rashford for Sterling. I feel like that was a rush move. I think Almiron would have been a better pick. And it would have freed you up more money to possibly go into Zaha into, let's say, someone else, I don't know, or something like that. Or a Harry Kane easier. From like Jesus. So I think there was a bit of a wage you could have thought about this in a way. I'm not even just saying that because I got him in my team. I think Miguel Almiron looks phenomenal right now. But honestly, I think as long as you're within the top, as long as you can hold your rank about the top mil, you'll be fine. I'm hoping to at least get down to the top 1.2 mil in the next 3 weeks without taking any more red arrows like I have been. Maybe I'll captain Salah as a ballsy punt. But it should stay on Haaland for me, really. And Salah will be my vice. Now we put your team in here. Let me get my ID up off my phone and I'll put my team in. Oh no, my ID's not there. It's you. Okay, I'll actually have to go on my phone to get my flipping ID up. Lovely stuff. And we'll put my team in and see what my team's predicted points are. So let me just get my ID. And we'll see what mine is. Oh, we've been streaming for 2 hours already. Jesus, that's gone quick, that is, lads. Yeah, it is something to think about, though. Definitely. Just log into my phone. I don't know where Slay's gone, to be fairness. He just disappeared off. Okay, sound. Right, let's put my ID in. Alex, if you're still here, bro. I'll put the ID in. What we got? So let's actually just do the transfer I did and bring Almiron in. Almiron. Who was we benching? Benching Salah. I want to see what the actual things thinks better. Benching Saliba or benching Gomez? It's putting Saliba 1 up on Gomez, but it's a big dilemma that for me. I wasn't worrying, Alex. It's just the chat goes bland and I'm trying to think. I can't remember what question you was about to ask then. When you were followed with that thing. I don't like feeling I can talk to myself sometimes either. Well, that's my predicted points with Haaland captain. And probably might. I just feel like Gomez outscores Saliba. It's not so much I'm worried about that. It's more I feel like Forest will score. But Saliba could get a goal. So on paper it is actually better for me to start Saliba. So it might be a case of starting Saliba. But I just my gut says Gomez, but I might have to go with thing there. But yeah, it looks very nice though for next week. I'm very happy with how the team is looking. I still think Salah's going to do something next week. I'm going to give him all the weeks to game week 16. I'm going to give him the next 3 weeks. Because I can't really, no point in even getting out. Oh, in my head it's Salah. Alex, don't worry about that, lad. It's just more the fact I feel like Forest are going to score. And I feel Forest could win against Arsenal. Or it's going to be a 1-1 draw. It's just Salah does offer the more. I'm not expecting a clean sheet. I'm more expecting the goal potential of him. But at the same time, Gomez does kind of clarify he'll get a clean sheet against Leeds. And benching Saliba all other weeks has paid off, and then some weeks I've obviously brought him in, and he's got a 15-pointer twice for me this year though, 15 and a 14. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he scored. I just don't think Arsenal keep a clean sheet against Forest, honestly. Hello Flavina, I didn't even see you there, lad. Welcome to stream. Hope you're having a good day. Right, sound. Yeah, I probably will play Saliba. Or Gomez. I'll decide tomorrow when we do the deadline stream in the morning. We're still going to be on it for another good hour. And Summit, we've got more than enough time. Be on here all day this room of time. Let's just. I'm going to switch Saliba into my main. I'm probably going to regret that, but. He could haul. At this moment, Alex, depending whether Tony gets a yellow, yes. If Tony doesn't get a yellow this week, it'll be Mitrovic to Calvert-Lewin next week, yes. If not, it'd be Tony. But my current transfer plans, I'll show you my current transfer plans. So my current transfer plans are game week 15. I've got obviously 1 mil in the. I've currently got 1.1 mil in the bank because I got Almiron before the price rise, so ignore that money. And my move would be transferring Mitrovic out, bring him Calvert-Lewin in, So that'll be that week. And then game week 16. Well, this is my team. Well, game week 15, obviously I got Raya. Whatever. I don't think. Yeah, that would actually, yeah, that would be my team. I'd be playing Nottingham Forest, Chelsea. I'll probably have to play Salah that week. I can't really not play Salah that week. So, I'm still happy with that predicted points, really. It's still nice. And this week, we'd obviously bring in Sanchez for Raya. And probably bring in Gomez for probably Almiron maybe that week. And then we transfer Tony out and bring... I haven't actually really decided who I was going to bring in yet. Maybe I'll bring back in Jesus. Possibly. Probably not actually. Maybe Skamaka. It's only a 1 week punch, so I can go very risky with the striker for this 1 week. I can go a bit ballsy for the week. Try and go someone really risky. Maybe a Danny Welbeck would be nice. I'm still undecided on that. I feel like I probably would end up benching Almiron. Maybe I don't and I'll play Gomez. I'll say that. I probably do want to play Almiron against Chelsea. No, I would want to play Almiron against Chelsea. Even though he'll probably get a clean sheet and he'll have to return. Maybe I'd bench Trippier that 1 week. I probably wouldn't though. Who could I actually bring in? Who could I actually bring in looking at this sheet? Tough one. I will have just the Tony money. I'm assuming, yeah, whatever Tony is, 7.3 mil or whatever, 7.5 mil, whatever it is. Yeah, 7.5 mil. I can't bring Jesus anyway. Actually, ignore me. It'd probably be Skamaka. It would either be Skamaka or Patson Daka. I'd probably go Tony out and Daka in. Or bring in Skamaka. It would be either one. It would be Skamaka or Daka in for Tony. But they're not really going to do a lot anyway, so maybe I just keep Ivan Tony and play him. Maybe. Yeah, that's a bad, bloody tough one, that is. It's a tough one. It's going to be Daka or Skamaka, really, or I could bring in Wilson for 1 game and have the triple up on the Newcastle, which maybe wouldn't be a bad idea for 1 week. I don't really like the way Chelsea look right now. I don't really know if I want to bring Wilson in, to be fairness, that week.